I am finally getting my banana split later this year. I talked to my surgeon on the phone, and this is how he's going to do it. Step one is, of course, to split the banana.
This is why people do not like the community.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry.
What kind of cookies do you have?
Yeah, go take some.
Thank you. Makes me not want a cookie now. I don't think I want to give this place any more of my money. It's okay. It's not okay, but it's also like I'm trying to take these things in stride a little bit more lately. I'm not happy about it. I don't like getting misgendered. It really stinks. If the person hadn't corrected themselves, I would have corrected them, but they did immediately. Sometimes people will say like, well, voice train Lily. How can you expect someone to gender you correctly in this situation? The expectation is not for a server to read your mind. The expectation is that a server understands that they don't know your pronouns. They don't know anybody's pronouns, even if they look a certain way. If there's someone who came out as trans the day before, they haven't started hormones, they haven't, voice trained, they don't have new clothes, like they're presenting entirely as male, that person's pronouns are still she, her. You got to account for that situation because you never know who you're going to have as your guest.
Lily Tino is probably one of the most well-known trans activists on the internet and a huge reason why the LGBT is on a decline when it comes to acceptance in society. Today we're going to watch some of her videos and break down why they are detrimental to the community as a whole.
That is fancy looking. Cool.
The bottom is from Thailand?
Coconut bread from Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, sorry, my bad.
It just totally sucks the joy out of this bread tower. Makes me want to immediately leave because I no longer feel safe here. It's like, oh, my guard now has to be up. I'm not going to enjoy this bread as much because my guard is up. We should be able to go places and not have to worry. I don't think I really want this bread tower, actually. I think I'd rather have the check if that's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing was wrong with bread. I just don't want it anymore. Just because they apologize doesn't mean she doesn't feel sad or offended. Yeah. Exactly, right? If you've accidentally ever hurt someone and say, I'm so sorry, it was an accident, do you expect them to be like, oh, it was an accident? Of course, no problem whatsoever. All of that hurt is now undone.
Yes, Lily, you are supposed to forgive them for an accident. It's not their fault that they clocked you.
That's not how it works.
Sorry about what happened.
It's okay. I would love to pay for the drink, please.
No, the drink is on me too, so.
Are you sure?
You're good, yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We all know she wasn't going to pay for that drink anyways. She does this to get free food and to make the servers' lives miserable.
Me and my girlfriend were going to a wine castle, and we sat down for our tasting. And at first they were just very rude and didn't really answer our questions, and we didn't really feel welcome. Our server said, yes, sir, when I was asking some questions. And I said, oh, no, I'm actually not a sir. And instead of apologizing, or I don't know what else you would do other than apologize, they just walked away. Did not acknowledge what I said, just walked away. We saw the server whispering to a manager, and a few minutes later, the manager came over and, really big smile, not acknowledging at all that the misgender had happened. And I say, hey, look, the last person, they misgendered me and that really hurt. And they just walked away. And the manager said, oh, well, some people just aren't as progressive as you.
And that's something Lily Tino and others don't understand. Not everybody is as progressive as you are. And it's not up to them to change the way that they think. It's up to you to acknowledge the fact that not everybody is going to think the same exact thing as you.
And then they gave us a nice little chocolate that suggested they wanted our money but didn't want to say sorry. So we left and got a full refund. It's one thing to get misgendered and then get an apology, but it's another thing to get misgendered and then be told that it's okay and not to worry about it, and here's a chocolate.
It is in fact okay to not worry about it. If you were comfortable in your own gender identity, it wouldn't matter what someone else says. If they clock you, they clock you. If they don't, they don't. Either way, you are who you are. And if you're uncomfortable with that fact, then none of this would bother you and you would not make a scene about it everywhere you go.
I have been misgendered 3 times in the past 24 hours at restaurants. Last night, I was at Benihana with my girlfriend, and the server said, what about you, sir? What would you like to eat? My girlfriend, God bless her heart, steps in, says, actually, that's ma'am. And she looks at my girlfriend and didn't really understand what had happened and said, no, I'm talking to him.
pointing at me. Our jaws were on the floor and we decided to leave because it was just a bad vibe after that. And just a few minutes ago, I was at another restaurant for lunch and they showed me my seat and said, "Here you go, sir." And I said, "I am not a sir." And then I left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. And I went to a new restaurant and I asked, before I sit down, where's the bathroom, please? And they said, "Oh, it's right this way, sir." And I just left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. If you're a server in the food industry, you don't need to use words like sir or ma'am. There are ways to be respectful without using those words. And if you get it wrong for someone like me, I will probably leave the restaurant. And it puts like a bad vibe on my day when it happens, especially when it happens 3 times in a row.
I have a hard time believing that that happened 3 times in a row. Did that happen once in that 24-hour period? Probably. But Lily is known to be recording literally everything she's doing, recording these servers misgendering her, even though she does look like a biological male, and it's not too hard to know that she is a biological male. She just likes to cause issues at restaurants when she can just ignore it, you know? And that's the issue a lot of people have with the trans community is, unless you're passing, you are going to get clocked. And that's just something you're going to have to deal with. You can't expect every single person to just assume you're a trans woman and not just a feminine male. That's really an issue you have to deal with on your own. This next part, we're going to go over some of the videos that she put out where it's aimed towards children and teaching them about being transgendered and reassignment surgeries. Completely inappropriate to talk to children about, but she felt the need that this was vital information for kids to know.
Hi friends! Today we're going to talk about something super important, what it means to be transgender. It's a big word, but I promise that it's easy to understand. Ready to learn? The first thing I want you to do is close your eyes. Now think, do you feel like a boy, a girl, or a little bit of both? Do you have your answer? Great. Now I want you to imagine that everyone keeps telling you that you're something else, even though in your heart you know who you are. Wouldn't that make you sad inside? People who feel like this are transgender. And if you're not transgender, it's super easy to be friends with someone who is. Let's take our imaginary friend Theo, for example. One day you notice that Theo starts wearing girl clothes instead of boy clothes, and then they tell you that they want to be called Luna instead of Theo. This is so exciting for our friend Luna because they finally get to be their true self. And if you accidentally call Luna by their old name, make sure to say a big sorry and that you'll do better next time. As you can see, transgender people are just like you and me. They're our friends.
First, let kids be kids.
Hi friends! Today we're talking about something super cool called pronouns. Pronouns are little words that help us talk about each other. We all have pronouns. Some people use he and him, like this bear. He's so cuddly. Some people use she and her, like this cat. She's so playful. Some people use they and them. Oh, like this frog. They like to hop. Can you say he's so cuddly? Good. Can you say she's so playful? Good. Can you say they like to hop? Good job. And it's important to ask people what their pronouns are because you can't always tell by what they look like. Here's how you do it. Hi, my name is Lily. My pronouns are she and her. What about you? Then the other person can tell you their name and pronouns. Using the right pronouns makes everyone feel happy and included. It shows that you care about them. Plus, it's an easy way to be a good friend.
Kids are already trying to learn a lot at that age. Why do we need to confuse them with pronouns not matching physical appearance? It just doesn't make sense.
I got my cake pops removed, but now it's time to turn my candy cane into a donut. After the procedure is done, I will stay in the hospital for about a week. And while I'm there, they will pack my freshly made donut with napkins. This will ensure that everything sets in place and the donut doesn't close in on itself. After about about a week, they will remove the napkin and send me home with instructions to dilate. Dilating serves the same purpose as the napkin, making sure that the donut doesn't close in on itself. Just instead of using the napkins, you use a plastic candy cane or dilator that you place inside of the donut for 20 minutes 3 times a day. And as you heal, your donut will become more resilient and you will increase the size of your dilator until eventually you're ready for the big leagues and you only have to dilate a couple times a week. That being said, a lot of people don't want to dilate. It's understandable. The good news is that you can get a zero depth donut, one that looks the exact same but doesn't require dilation. There are certain things that you can't do with a zero depth donut, but that trade-off is worth it to some people. Personally, I am down to dilate because I am sick and tired of my candy cane, and I'm going into 2026.
This is the most disgusting videos that she likes to put out. She's describing reassignment surgery, making it easier for kids to understand. I'm not confused why the general public's approval of the entire community is going down. It's stuff like this, honestly. Stuff that shouldn't be said on an app where there are a lot of children in words that make it easier for children to understand. They don't need to know about these surgeries. You don't need to word it in ways that children can understand. It's terrible. It makes everybody look bad.
I'm gonna get banned from Disney. I swear, we're about to get banned from Disney. Last summer, I got my cake pops removed, and the plan up until recently was to get my marshmallow wand reconfigured into a marshmallow tunnel. Unfortunately, a few weeks ago, I noticed some hair regrowth on my marshmallow wand. That's bad because the outside of the wand is what becomes the inside of the tunnel, so you don't want hair growing there or else it's very uncomfortable. So I talked to my surgeon and he said that it would be best to postpone the procedure until after hair removal is complete. This is obviously disappointing because I was really excited to have a marshmallow tunnel sooner. That being said, it is still happening. We're just not sure when it's happening. Hair removal is a fickle thing and it's really hard to predict when it will finish. But my hair removal technician thinks it will be before the end of the year. So, fingers crossed. Oh, good. Want some? My mom's here, by the way. The marshmallow tunnel.
Ah, yes. Nothing says Disney like talking about reassignment surgery in front of children. That is the most degenerate thing I have seen in a while. I don't know why she does this. And to do it in front of your mom at Disney, with kids around, is really disgusting, honestly. Not the right time or place or correct wording. It just goes to show you that Lily is only out here to make the rest of the community look terrible, and she is succeeding.
I've made it into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I get stopped, I guess, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me. So I will report back in a minute once I have hopefully tinkled without issue.
3 minutes later.
That went as well as it could have gone. No one gave me any weird looks. Definitely no one stopped me. I walked in, I found a stall. I peed. I peed standing up, which is something I'm sometimes a little self-conscious about with the sound. I think, oh, is there someone peeing standing up there? But you know what? I peed standing up and it was fine. And then I washed my hands and I left. And you know what? On my way out from the women's bathroom, I took a quick picture with someone who recognized me and it was lovely. So overall, Disney World in Florida, 10 out of 10. Women's bathroom experience for trans women, would recommend.
And something that Lily decides to not acknowledge is not only did she take a picture with someone who allegedly recognized her, she also took a picture in the women's restroom with unsuspecting women in the background, some of them with their face showing, and that caused a lot of backlash. State of Florida opening an investigation. Fortunately, nothing has come from that investigation, and Disney has yet to ban her from any of the parks. Completely gross. Taking pictures of people in bathrooms is an invasion of privacy. Yeah, it does not make any sense. And that's basically as much as I can handle of Lily Tino for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon notifications. For more content discussing social issues that we are facing in today's society,